What up, world? establishedrich coming right back at you. Listen, Pusha T saying he never lies might be one of the funniest things I have heard in hip-hop all year, because this man built entire songs off stories that would have put anybody else in jail or under the ground. And now he out here talking like he the high priest of honesty. Stop it. Malice sound like a man who found God but still got to defend his family. But Pusha is out here trying to sell this idea that he's never, ever used controversy.
Not to get too meta, but you got a lot of criticism a little bit for some interviews like ours and others of being confrontational.
Right.
And people would say that you're doing that to promote, you're stoking that to promote.
Yeah.
Look who's saying that though.
Yeah, man.
Look who's saying that, because on the other end of that spectrum, there are people who really see clearly that Pusha don't lean on that kind of stuff. It's crazy stuff that he could be, he's very reserved.
The counter I would have said is that you didn't really engage. Like you could have drawn stuff out. Like people responded to you, people
and
did
look how
things,
long
people...
he sat on what has been going on. But that's what they do on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So they think that we play that over here. No, we don't. And we don't snitch and we don't tell.
Standing on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Say what I had to say.
That's it.
And that's it.
And I mean, you know, and it was just about, again, you mentioned the rollout. And when you mention those scenarios, you can't let the journalism be a main focus of the rollout and you tiptoe around shit.
Yeah.
That's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't gonna come in it, be an open book, yo, critique the music, yo, you know, give you the stories, give you the scenarios, and be tiptoeing around the stories.
I'm not talking about this.
Yeah, like you can't do that.
Word.
So it's like, you know, I'll take the criticism, it's fine. But never call me a liar, because I never lie. I never lie. I think, let me tell you something. I think lying's for bitches. If you lie about shit, that's because you're scared of something.
Right.
And you know, I'm not scared of anything or anybody. So what I say is what I say.
Word.
And as long as, you know, I'll take the criticism as long as you know I'm not lying though.
This interview ain't new information. It's damage control. Clipse got an album to push, and Push is doing exactly what he always does. Use a much bigger name to make himself look like he belongs in that category. Look at the history. This ain't my opinion, and this ain't hate. This is factual, historical, repeat behavior you can track back 20 years. Pusha T made his name taking shots at people who was way out of his league so it would look like they were peers. Lil Wayne was one of the greatest rappers on earth when Push decided to pick a fight with him. This was 2006 Lil Wayne. The Carter 2, the Carter 3 Wayne. This was a global superstar. And Pusha T, who was barely cracking commercial radio, decided that if I put myself in the ring with a giant, people would think I'm a giant too. That's strategy. That's not reality. That's posturing, not power. But here he is in 2025, acting like he's always operated above that. Like he's too pure, too principled, too real to ever use drama as a marketing tool.
Stop it, Push.
Then you move to Birdman, the man who built one of the most impactful labels in hip-hop history. And Pusha tried to make it seem like they were contemporaries, like they were on the same level of influence, impact, and legacy. He does this every album, every era, every cycle. He finds the biggest name in the room, he throws a glass at him so everybody can turn around and look at him. That's not authenticity. That's calculated survival in the music industry. But in this GQ interview, he trying to rewrite that history like we ain't lived through it. Like we ain't see the interviews, like we ain't see the rollouts. Like we didn't watch him post himself beside the most successful artists of our generation just so he could look like he in their circle. The man is a master of optics. I give him that. But let's not get it confused with the truth. When Pusha said, I never lie, I need everybody to sit down and drink some water. Because if we talking reality, real reality, his entire discography will be a case study in fiction. No one in human history moved that much dope, did that much dirt, made that much money, never got touched, and lived to drop metaphors about it for 20 years straight. Except Frank Matthews. And Frank Matthews disappeared. Everybody else who lived the life Push raps about is either dead or doing 150 years. So when Push says, I never lie, I ain't scared of nobody, boy, you been lying in rhyme scheme for 20 years. And that ain't even a problem. Hip-hop been built on exaggeration since the first breakbeat. Embellishment ain't the issue. The issue is you trying to act like you the only artist that don't exaggerate. Like you exist above everybody else. Like you the gold standard of truth and everybody else just making up stories. Stop it. You've been making up novels. And that's okay. But don't sit here and play like you above the game. This GQ interview was not about honesty. This was about rollout maintenance. This was about controlling the narrative. This was about making sure the public sees you as the victim of criticism rather than the architect of controversy. But let's address the other layer of this. The we don't snitch and we don't tell line from Malice. Because I don't even think Malice was talking about the streets. He was low-key talking about the music industry. He was saying they don't reveal how their machine moves. But Push wants to pretend like there is no machine. Like everything he does is purely spontaneous and honest. Man, you've been in this game 2 decades. Everything is a machine. Everything is strategic. Push is one of the most strategic artists we have ever seen. So it blows my mind when he acts like he's too real to ever market with drama. The issue ain't that he does it. The issue is that he won't own it. Now let's get to the heart of it. Clipse didn't need drama in 2002. They had the Neptunes. They had Virginia behind them. They had a sound that shook the whole industry. They didn't need smoke. But Pusha T as a solo artist, different story. The moment he left the brotherhood and stood alone, he realized drama is how you stay relevant with no commercial hits. He never had a global anthem like Wayne. He never had a world tour like Drake. He never had a run like Birdman and Cash Money. So he created an illusion. If I stand next to giants and throw rocks, people will think I'm their size. That has been his business model for 15 years. And it worked. But don't call it honesty. Call it what it is, marketing. So when he says in this GQ interview that he doesn't diss people for attention, come on, dawg. The public ain't stupid. They know exactly what you're doing. You had a comeback album. You needed eyes, ears. You needed conversation. And the best way to create conversation when you don't have a hit record is to create friction. And Pusha T knows that better than anybody else. Now, let me be fair. This don't mean Push ain't talented. The man is a top-tier lyricist, one of the most consistent writers in the game. But he has always managed to surround himself with bigger names to make him seem bigger. And when those names ignore him, he pokes the bear. It's his artistic survival method. And again, that's fine. Do what you need to do. But don't pretend it's principle. When you throw shots every era, it's a strategy, not a personal code. And that was my problem with this interview. The issue ain't what he said. The issue is that he acting like he too pure to ever even play that game. The man plays the game better than most, but he wants the credit without the responsibility. So I'm gonna take y'all out like this. Pusha T ain't wrong for marketing with controversy. He wrong for lying about it. He wrong for trying to sell honesty when his whole career is built on illusion. And the fact that he's still doing it in 2025 shows you how bad he needs these moments to stay relevant. But me, I'm not buying the act. I'm not buying the holier than thou energy. And I'm not buying the I never lie narrative. Push, you built a 20-year career off fiction you claim you don't use. And that's why this interview feels like a performance, not a confession. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.